Hey guys, what's up? Tomwins Gaming here, and welcome to my tips and tricks video for Armored Warfare. Once you have downloaded and installed Armored Warfare, the most important thing to do is to choose the right server, your choices being that of the North American region or that of the European region. If you do not reside in either of these countries or regions, use the map on the screen to find the server that is closest to you. Once you have chosen a server and logged in, the next step is to choose a username. I have gone with that of D357R0Y3R. You can choose any username you want as long as it abides by the rules laid out on the page. Once you have selected your server and chosen a username, then the fun stuff begins. By now you will have loaded into your garage, which will probably look something like this. Going counterclockwise from the middle right hand side of your screen, you will find your tank and armor values, your current boosts, your notifications, your global chat, friend and group list, battalion info, statistics or dossier, your base, your mission battle button, your PvP battle button, your dealer interface, your tank upgrade interface, and your garage. Later on in this video, we will be coming back to what all of these buttons do. The next thing we will move on to is the tutorial. The tutorial is accessed by clicking on the PvE battle mode and then clicking on Start Initiation. The tutorial will proceed to show you how to play Armored Warfare. Once you have completed the tutorial, the standard missions will become available. You can access these by clicking on PvE at the top of the screen and then selecting your difficulty. PvE missions will give you the same reputation earnings that PvP will, except PvE you can do a lot more damage and therefore get more reputation. Credits, on the other hand, are a completely different story. In PvP you will get a credit multiplier of whatever tier the battle is, so for example in a tier 6 battle you will get a multiplier of 6, whereas in PvE you will get approximately 2/5 the credits for doing twice as good. In Armored Warfare there are 4 currencies: gold, credits, reputation, and free reputation. Free reputation and reputation are almost the same, except free reputation can be used on any tank, whilst reputation can only be used on the tank it was earned on. You can earn credits, reputation, and free reputation by playing battles. Gold has to be purchased with real money on the official Armored Warfare website. Credits can also be earned by getting achievements that you'll find listed here. For different stages you will receive different rewards. For example, for getting Tank Collector level 5, which has owned 40 vehicles, you will receive 100,000 credit. Credits can be used for unlocking tanks, purchasing retrofits, purchasing consumables, and purchasing ammunition, whilst reputation is used to unlock modules and retrofits on tanks, as well as portraits, titles, credit packages, and then finally unlocking the next tank. Gold can be used to purchase tanks, such as the premium ones you'll find on the side of both dealer trees, as well as unlocking battle hardened status on tanks. Battle hardened can be achieved once your tank has researched proven status, and then can be purchased with a fraction the standard cost of a premium tank of that tier. It will not give you as much credits and reputations as a premium tank, but it will still earn you a fairly large amount of reputation and credits, more than you would usually. When you start in Armored Warfare, you will have the M113 researched, as well as the PT-76. Off these vehicles, if you had played World of Tanks before, you would understand that it works. You research all the mods on the tank, you research the next tanks. But to research the next tank, all you have to do is max out the first tank, and you can see how much that will cost by hovering over this bar here, unless, of course, you have maxed it out already. That's how you get from Tier 1 to Tier 2. from Tier 2 to Tier 3 is not something you'll be used to if you've played a game like World of Tanks before. Instead of researching the Tier 3s, you have to unlock them. How to unlock them, as you can see, for each section is listed here. For the Leopard variant main battle tanks, you have to, in battle, do 7,920 damage to enemy vehicles while your vehicle's health is greater than 50%, and it must be with Sophie's vehicles. Or, in missions, you can do 31,700 with the same qualifiers. You can look through all of these different blocks to see what the different research qualifications are. The one that isn't like those is the Chieftain Mark V from the West European main battle tanks, which you have to do and will take quite a while, is 43,000 potential damage migrated with Shishkin's vehicles, which the easiest way to do is by going up the T62, T64 and T72, and usually by the time you've maxed out the T64, you will have unlocked the Chieftain Mark V. Once you have researched the Tier 3s, it's back to the standard you used to of maxing out a tank to unlock the next one. As you can see on my OF40 here, it is 26% researched. You can see the unspent vehicle reputation and the global reputation here, and you can also see how much you have out of what you need to unlock the next vehicle. So the prerequisites are the Leopard variant main battle tank block prerequisites, and specifically for the vehicle, 64,000 reputation earned in this vehicle's predecessor, the OF40. You can boost this with your free reputation by selecting how much you want to add. Say I just want to, say I want to add 10 reputation, then I type 10 there, and then the 227 becomes 237. So I don't actually lose the reputation when I upgrade it, it just transfers from global to unspent vehicle. In Armored Warfare there are many different types of ammunition, but the three main types of shell ammunition are armor piercing, high explosive anti-tank, and high explosive. Armor piercing, as a general rule, flies the fastest, has the most penetration, and does the average amount of damage. High explosive anti-tank usually flies slower, has less penetration, but does a lot more damage. And high explosive flies even slower than high explosive anti-tank, has a lot less penetration, but doesn't need to penetrate to do damage, but if it does penetrate, it does a lot more damage than both. With the different types of ammunition, you can unlock them for each gun. For example, on the T72 here, you can see there is the stock gun, the 125mm A2A46 cannon, and then the upgraded gun, 125mm 2A46-1 cannon. So, to unlock the upgraded gun, you have to research the upgraded armor piercing, upgraded high explosive, and upgraded heat for the first gun, and then you have to research the upgraded high explosive anti-tank and armor piercing shells for the top gun. This gun also has its standard high explosive anti-tank, high explosive and armor piercing rounds, which you can see the statistics for here, and it also has these two pieces of upgraded ammo. You can see on this upgraded ammo what the upgrade does. It adds for the shaped charge or heat ammunition, adds 39 extra damage and 13 more penetration, and here 21 extra damage and 16mm more penetration. As you can see here on the basement Panzer, because that's what it's called, not all guns just fire armor piercing, high explosive and high explosive anti-tank. Some can also fire shaped charge missiles or anti-tank guided missiles. These missiles usually have a lot more penetration than all other shells and usually do about the same amount of damage. Anti-tank guided missiles, with them you have to have line of sight to your target, and you also have to aim them the entire time. The amazing thing about anti-tank guided missiles is you can, when you get good at shooting them, fly them around corners, over bridges, and around cover, due to their very slow speed of 200 meters per second. For example, with the BGM-71C TOW anti-tank guided missile from the Beagle Panzer 57. In Armoured Warfare, one of the very important things to pay attention to is the armour modifiers. Here with the main battle tank 70, you can see that it has 252mm of frontal hull armour and 250 meters of frontal turret armour, but the armour is made out of layered steel composite, which gives it an 1.5 times bonus against armour piercing high explosive, but a 2.5 times bonus against shaped charge, which is missiles and heat. You can see what this effectively means by clicking on the Statistics tab and then on the Armour tab on the side of the screen, and you can see that effectively against armour piercing the front is almost 400mm thick, not including against shaped charge 630. So this is something that's very important to pay attention to, because it means you know what you can bounce. For example, when I'm playing my main battle tank 70, usually if someone's firing a missile at me of equal tier, I can pull the tank on a slight angle and have the missile do nothing whatsoever. If you enjoy playing the artillery in Armoured Warfare, and you have an M109, then if you feel like spending a fairly large amount of credits on it, and already have the Commander Freya at level 4 or higher, then equip her with, doesn't matter, either the fire when ready or full auto perks. Get the retrofits advanced thermal sleeve as high as you can, enhanced shell materials as high as you can, and intercom energy drink and protein bars, as well as crew as high as possible with the rapid fire skill on one of your loaders, and you will end up with an artillery that has, well, for me, a 6.65. Doing the math finding out, you can get as short as a 4.4 second reload for this artillery, where the problem is actually that it's taking you longer to aim than to reload. This trick works great once you have taken out the enemy arty against taking out main battle tanks, considering the fact that you can shoot at them, track them, and keep them stuck there while you remove all of their hit points. But watch out, you'll probably be called a hacker and people will rage at you and tell you to uninstall, but it's hell fun anyway. Have too many tanks in your garage and don't know where they all are? Select your favourites and you can just click this button here and it will show them all up here in a quick list that you can do your wins of the day in. Also, you can use these buttons on the side to select what tanks you want to show up to. Need some quick credits, maybe only 1,000 or 10,000 or 100,000? When you kill lieutenants, or the bosses, which are marked yellow, in PvE you will receive an energy drink. You can sell these for 10,000 credits. What we're going to run through here is a quick game in the Type 59 Legend Premium tank, and just go over some of the user interface icons that will come up throughout your battles. As you can see while I hover over this, enemy M113 is greyed out, which means I don't have line of fire. Right there, as you can see, the spotted icon pops up on the middle of the screen above the reticle. This shows that I have been spotted by one of the enemy tanks. The icon that just came up on screen there shows that an artillery shell is currently inbound near your location. It's best when this icon pops up to either drive forward or backwards. Just a side note, in player vs player battles, driving backwards won't always work, because if you're an artillery player like me, you'll shoot behind them so that they pull back into your shot. What I just took a shot at them was one of the enemy SAM sites. This was one of the conditions for the secondary objective, to destroy all three of these. Their locations are marked on the minimap by a light blue square. What I just did there was click the right mouse button while hovering over the M41 to lock the target and then firing without fully aiming.